If you enjoyed that race, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are easily entertained. You do not have any standards. Because anyone with any sort of standards would be in agreement with me that that was the worst race of the season. Oh my goodness, that was pure trash. Pure trash. I'm not even upset about the fact that my guy finished last. Because I honestly expected that. Just like I expected the gridlock, like I expected the fuel saving. The only thing I didn't expect was Cox and Hocevar winning. Which Hocevar winning is the only thing that's capable of being a genuine 1 out of 10. And the only reason it would have even been a 1 out of 10 was because the 10 laps we got actually good racing at the start of stage 2. Until Chastain fucked that for us. Oh my god. So they switched sides. Okay. So before this race, a couple weeks ago, they announced they were shortening the length of their stage. They increased stage 1 to 98 laps. Stages 2 and 3 were shortened to about 45. Ignoring the fact that thanks to the cocksuckers at Fox, it was actually more like it was less than 40. So, but hey, we'll just ignore it. We'll just ignore that. And guess what? That didn't change anything because stage 1 was atrocious. It started off okay. Chad Fincham led some laps. That was cool, and it seemed like there was a group of Hamlin, Gibbs, Briscoe, and I think Bell. Wait, no, it was 3 Toyotas. Well, actually 4 because Nemechek was there. Then it was Cody Ware, and then the 2 RCR cars, along with Ty Dillon and Allmendinger trying to keep up with them, but they were kind of failing at that. But then there was a whole nother pack that was mostly Fords who were doing nothing but fuel saving, and they were completely falling behind. So, but then it didn't even matter because Hamlin, Briscoe, and Gibbs all either had horrible pit stops or you got just full on penalized. Meaning that now they were just completely fucked over. The races basically ended there, especially for Hamlin, who didn't even get on the lead lap until literally the fucking end. That gave way to the Fords who were doing nothing but fuel saving. And it wasn't even like the fuel saving of previous Talladega races where they were at least like 2-3 wide. No, they were single file. The entire field was single file. And like, at least with the 3 wide fuel saving, you might get slight entertainment out of it. But it was single file. And it was just made more and more confusing by the fact that we had Bell intentionally keeping Gibbs and Hamlin 2 lapped cars in front of him. And Fox's coverage was so ungodly awful. Oh my goodness. Before we had even reached lap 24, we were on our 3rd commercial break. And not to mention, at start of stage 2, we were 3 laps in, thanks to Fox just sucking up laps so they can get their freaking commercials in. And thanks to the stage breaks, by the time we had actually restarted stage 2, we were already on lap 7. And at a place like Talladega, that means they were just riding around, just wasting time for 7 laps before we finally went green. And then after just 2 green flag laps, they went back to commercial. And it was a full screen commercial. It wasn't even like side by side. No, it was full screen. And then the big one, which I mentioned, briefly mentioned Chastain, but Honestly, it's not even his fault. That's just a product of this car, man. It is so hard to push, especially the Toyotas, without them getting squiggly. Like, that whole thing, I think under every other car, any other generation of car, that wreck does not happen. Maybe Bob still gets a little squiggly, but I think he's able to keep it together. But not in this car. No. Not with this car. No. So, of course, a little push caused a 26 car pileup, which took out my guy. Also took out Ty Gibbs. It took out Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, who I picked to win. It took out Daniel Suarez. Not really, but he suffered damage. Took out Keselowski. Took out so many cars for something that I guarantee you, under any other generation of car, under the truck, ARCA, and Xfinity cars, I still call it Xfinity, O'Reilly cars, that wreck doesn't freaking happen. Hell, the Xfinity race had just 2 wrecks, and they're on the first lap and the final lap. Just 2. Ugh. And then after that, it was just the 2x2 gridlock that is not racing. It's not even entertainment. It is a waste of time. Because the gridlock, especially at Talladega, is unescapable. We saw multiple times, especially during stage 2, people in the back people were trying to build the third lane, but nobody would go with them. Nobody. They did not even start racing after that big wreck. They didn't even actually start racing until they were already in the fucking trial, which, guess what, just caused another wreck. Oh my god. And like, what's annoying is that, especially with the gridlock thing, it's almost exclusively a Talladega thing, because Daytona doesn't really have the gridlock. Atlanta doesn't have it at all. And like, what's annoying is that, like, I was kind of hopeful, because Daytona, I didn't make a video about the 500. I made a video about the 500 last year, and I called it the Daytona 500 is dead. I still kind of believe that. I still think the 500 is still a shell of its former self. But this year's 500 was actually pretty solid. Because for the first about 120 laps, they were going at least damn near full throttle. And it was actually really good. Moves were being made. Runs were being generated. The leaders are actually able to get away for a little bit before the field sucked them back in. That's what caused the freaking Justin Allgaier Denny Hamlin wreck. But then, after that wreck, the Toyotas took over. They made everyone go half throttle, and the race sucked until 15 to go. But, I digress. The 500 is still a show of its former self, but at the very least, the first 120 laps and the final 15 laps, they were going all out, and it was great. Well, not great, but pretty good. And Atlanta, they don't even bother having to do the fuel saving because the track is short enough and the race is long enough where they don't have to worry about that. So, they go all out, and Atlanta kicks Daytona and Talladega's ass in quality every single freaking year. It's not even funny. But then Talladega, again, there's better racing when they're going half throttle. Because when they're going half throttle, at the very least, they're 3 wide. And occasionally, I mean, hell, today, I mentioned it, Chad Fincham led laps because he went full throttle and went from 37th to the lead. Chad Fincham was running inside the top 10. Was the leader for a little while. I believe Racing Reference logged him as leading 8 laps. But the gridlock, which only happens when they, no, excuse me, the gridlock, which only happens when they're going full throttle, literally, like, let's put it in perspective. In stage 1, when they were doing the fuel saving, we had Chad Fincham, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Larson. We had those people leading. Oh, and Ryan Preece, who won stage 1. And Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski was leading the Fords for a majority of the race. Or the majority of the stage. In stage 3, it was Busch and Hocevar. And they were the only two people that led for the entirety of stage 3 because they were the two leading the lines. And you want to know who finished 1, 2? Hocevar, Busch. In that order. And like, this is not racing. And I guarantee you, just like last year, they did the same thing last year when they praised the amount of lead changes. It's not impressive. The lead changes are not impressive when it's literally because two cars legitimately cannot get ahead of the other. And because nobody can make a freaking third lane work at all. It's not impressive. It's not racing. It's not even entertainment. It is a waste of time. So, like, why bother? Why even bother wasting my time like this? It's like Minecraft doing a bunch of small drops that are insignificant. It's like Kanye West releasing another album before it's finished. Why even bother? Just save it for when you have a major update, have a little side piece. Actually release an album fully finished. And actually do something major about these freaking super speedway races. Or else it's just going to continue being like this. A waste of time for everyone involved. And it isn't helped by the fact that Fox is so freaking disrespectful to this sport. Is that what today's broadcast was? It was just pure disrespect. 3.5, 4 hours of disrespect towards NASCAR with all the freaking commercial breaks, all the cuts, by the way. One cut that I feel like people aren't mentioning enough was at the end of stage 1. There was about to be a freaking like 2-3 wide battle for the final stage point, and then they just cut away to commercial. Another freaking commercial. Are you kidding me? I probably sound like an insane man right now. It's just annoying. I've not been this mad at a race in a really long time. I think the last time I got this mad at a race was the 2022 Texas All-Star race, which, you wanna know what we're going to next week? Oh, yippee! The actual worst track in the freaking series. But that's besides the point. And I want to get back to the title of this video. Talladega has become predictable. And what I mean by that is, like, the only thing now that you can't predict about Talladega is the winner. But that's literally a freebie because you can't predict any winner. Not even on the last lap. I should know. I used to be a Junior fan. But, and, you know, who will probably rock. But, like, entering this race, the things I predicted were that someone is just going to be, they're going to be 3 wide through fuel saving. At least one person is going to wreck because of an issue that is a product of this car. Sometimes it's going to be a single car spin. Sometimes it's going to be a whole freaking field like today. And once they do go full throttle, it's not going to actually be anything. It's going to be even worse, actually, than the half throttle. Because at least when they're half throttle, again, at least when they're half throttle, they're going 3 wide. When they're going full throttle, it's literally just gridlock. And you have literally a coin toss on who's going to win. Unless, like, what McDowell did a few years ago when he just flat took himself out. it's just, it's not racing anymore. It's not racing. And even if he was going like, oh, it's NASCAR's entertainment. No, that wasn't even entertainment. That was a waste of time. That was annoyance. Nothing but pure annoyance. And personally, I honestly might be perfectly fine not even watching Spring Talladega anymore. I won't watch the fall race because, well, it's part of the chase. And I don't want to enter the next race completely lost. But I might, starting next year, I might just flat out skip Spring Talladega entirely besides the O'Reilly and ARCA series. Which makes this race almost thing even worse because, hell, even ARCA, the definition of a series that's about to die, even they are a better show than Cup. Well, shout out to Cleese, by the way. Ugh, man. I just don't know anymore, man. I'm just like really starting to fall out of love, especially with the Cup Series. The O'Reilly Series, I'm in pure love with. The trucks, almost in pure love with, though they get on my nose a little bit. ARCA is dead, but hey, who knows? Maybe this is the start of a brand new sign of life for ARCA. Maybe ARCA will not be in the grave in a few years. Maybe it'll finally reach its status and back to where it used to be and finally be good again. Make ARCA good again. Oh man, my arm's getting tired. We're gonna wrap this up. There's a 17-minute rant that definitely went in circles a lot. But the point remains, Talladega is just predictable now. Extremely predictable, actually. Excuse me. It's almost hilariously predictable. Because at least Daytona has a sense of unpredictability. Talladega just doesn't anymore, and it really pisses me off. But yeah, that's gonna wrap this up. See ya.